Okay, here we are back to the candle holder. I just wanted to go over the canned cycle portion of the tool pathing. It's going to be a little bit different than just standard tool paths. So start with same as before. We're going to start with lathe. We want to make sure that our planes view planes. We want to make sure we are DZ in planes, and that has been selected, so we're good there. So then we can go to our tool settings, put in your program number, whatever that might be. As I said before, I pick from material, adjust my arc. I'm going to change the material to aluminum 6061. That's good. I'm going to select all of these. And stock. We will set our stock. It's 1.5 inch material. I'm just going to pick 5 inches long and make sure we don't have any problems with our chuck. We are going to leave 50 thou on the face for finishing. We can leave those settings the way they are. We can go to the chuck then. All of these settings we can leave the way they are. We are going to from stock grip length of 1.25 and have a look at that. Looks pretty good. Chuck jaws are there. We got lots of clearance there for our parting tool, and we have our 50 thou for facing. So hit enter. We're okay. Click OK, and we're ready to start machining. So we'll start with facing. So we're going to go to turning, face, pick a tool. This is an 80-degree diamond. That's fine. We're going to go with 12 thou feed. We will go with leave the finished feed rate the same. We're not going to change it. Cutting speed 1800 is aluminum or brass, and it will be actually brass. Maximum cutting RPM for us will be 3500. If you want coolant, you can go in there and turn it on. This will be rough and finish face. That's your comment that you want to put in. Face parameters. How far do we want to start out in front? If we start for 100 thou out, that's fine. That gives us some clearance. Let's do 25 thou face cuts. We will do one finish cut of 5 thou. So one cut, 5 thou. Overcut 10 thou, that's fine. We can leave everything else the same. We're not leaving any finishing. And we are going to Z0 as our finish. We are compensating left. And we will leave the setting at computer. If we were worried about wanting to adjust our wear offsets, we could use control or wear, but in this case we'll use computer. That'll be fine. And you can see we have some roughing and one finish pass there. So we can use the can cycle to rough the OD, and it definitely will be different settings than we used in just the regular roughing. So if we go into can cycle roughing here, have to make sure that the default is for it to be in wireframe. We need it to be in solid so that we can pick the geometry. So you're going to start there and we're going to end there. So basically it's the same setup that we did on the other style of roughing. And we will use a VNMG tool, 15 thou tool nose radius. We are going to leave the speed the same. Let's change the feed to like 8 thou. inches per rev. Maximum spindle speed 3500. Coolant on. Go in there and turn that on if you want. This will be rough OD bowl. And then we go into the here. So what are we going to leave? We are going to leave 10 thou in, no, we are going to leave 3 thou in Z and 10 thou in X. Clearance in X, let's make that 0.1. Clearance in Z, we'll make that 0.1. Depth of cut, make that, oops, got too many decimals there, 25 thou, 250, 25, 25 thou. Exit length, we'll have it back out a little bit, maybe 50 thou, so it retracts. Compensation type, we'll use computer just for this example, but if you wanted control using your offsets, wear offsets, or your geometry offsets or wear offsets, you would have to select that. But with computer, you have no control on the machine as far as adjusting the size, short of adjusting your tool length offsets. If you want to use wear, then you want to pick one of these ones. So, but for now, we'll just go with that. We'll just assume you're setting up the tools correctly and you don't need to adjust. So compensation is right. And let's go into lead in, lead out. We are going to want to adjust the lead in, because otherwise your tool is going to be embedded in the front of the material here. So let's add a line, and we'll add 0.1 of an inch, and we're going to go minus 45 degrees. So what we're going to do, oops, minus 45 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a tag. It's 100 thou out here at 45 degrees, so that the tool starts without being embedded in the part. If you want to, you can also leave this 100 thou in there. That doesn't matter. Lead out, we're going to extend the contour by 0.3, just like we did before on the first time when we did this part, but we're going to do that so we just extend this contour in the bowl there. That's okay. And we've set all these things. Let's display the profile. No, we don't save the geometry. We didn't allow plunge parameter, so don't save it. Go into plunge, and it won't allow you to pick both plunging directions, but it'll allow this one because that's the one that's changing, and this one we'll be okay with that. Well, let's have a look at that. So what it's doing is it's going to create this wireframe, and it's going to leave it attached to your part. So you save this geometry, and we've got everything in there. I think we're good with that. So let's see what that looks like when we go there. And there we have it. It's going to rough that section out. Now we want to go to finish and can cycle again. Let's go down here. Same tool. Unless you want to pick a new one. So this one will be finish OD bowl, and we'll go here, retract amount, say 50 thou, and we should be okay with that. So let's select them all and have a look at it in backplot. Takes a while for the tool to get here, so there, let's just slow it down a little bit. So facing look good. it's roughing out fine. And done. Looks good. So that's basically what it looks like. We can also preview that in Verify if you want to have a look and see what that looks like. So in Verify, I usually turn color loop on and I go to isometric. Let's make it full screen so you can see it. And there it is.